Okay, welcome back. And today we took a loss, right, which is completely normal. I'm not gonna. I mean, we got caught up. Me personally, got caught up in some chop, but I'm not gonna say price action was terrible because, I mean, first of all, it wasn't, and I've seen people win with today's price action. Like I said, like you can't just blame it on, how price is moving because it just really comes down to how you trade. Unless price action is totally like consolidating the entire time, I feel like it really depends on just how you trade. So I'm not gonna come out here and say, oh, price was it was really dirty and just messy, and that's why I lost my trade, right? No, I lost my trade because today's trade just happened to not work out for me. I followed my system, followed my rules, um, and it just comes up. It's just something with your model. Your model's profitable because you're able to lose, um, and so yeah, the good thing is I still followed my rules. $337 loss today. We're back down to under 2K, 1.9K. We're up like $60 on the week still. Had two oh sorry, yeah. On I didn't recap these last two trades, but yesterday was hitting trailing stop loss for 200. Monday was hitting trailing stop loss for 200. Yesterday though, I really could have closed out for a $1,000 profit, but I got greedy. Thing I've been trying to work on is not extending my TP. I don't extend my TPs, but working on a more being less greedy and being more I guess having a more realistic expectation to where how much price is gonna move. Like yesterday, I had my TP set for like 100, 200 point move. It wasn't totally unreasonable, but at the same time, that's like, what am I thinking, bro? I really think price is gonna move 200 points after a dump. Y'all saw that dump yesterday after a dump completely at market open. And I thought price was going to fill out a market maker buy model for like 200 points, and I really should have taken my profits, but nah, I didn't decide to. And then so I got stomped out at trailing stop loss, and today I took a loss, which is fine. We can make it back tomorrow. We can make it back Friday next week. Doesn't matter. So just gonna recap this trade for y'all real quick, and y'all can see $337 loss on a 1.9K bounce on the 50K funded. And yeah, so let's get into the trade. So I took two trades today. The first one was a break even. The second one was the actual loss. So this first one I took, I thought personally I expected this to play out a lot more than the first one. Seems like I just had my bias wrong today as well. Well, my bias today coming in, initially it was bullish because of the fact that price wasn't this 6 a.m. I always go back, or I always refer to what the 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. candles on the 4 hour are going to look like, because obviously that's the majority of New York AM session. So the first 6 a.m. candle, I was looking for this to close above this down close candle here, and it closed relatively near this inverse fair value gap. Because obviously overnight we inverse this 4 hour gap, and so I really just wanted us to respect this 4 hour order block, respect this inverse gap, and just for us to close at least somewhere in this relative area, and then I'd be pretty bullish, and I'd like to see us hit previous day highs. But no, that's not what happened, right? We dumped, which is fine. We adapt, right? We dumped in that 4 hour 6 a.m. candle, and we closed below this down close candle, which makes a bearish order block. And so now I flip my bias to bearish. And then in addition to that, on the daily, it seems like we're respecting this bullish or this bearish order block on the daily, right? And so now my bias is going to be bearish. And my drawn liquidity is going to be the Asia lows. We already took out Asia lows. Yeah, it's going to be the next drawn liquidity, previous daily lows, right? However, we do have a daily for value gap, but I wasn't too worried about that because we tested it yesterday, and I don't really have too much confidence in higher time frame fair value gaps if they get tested too often. So I didn't really think we'd react off of that, but we did. Holy Doge candle. Um, and so my bias was bearish initially, and so my next thought process was wait for the 10 a.m. Right? Obviously, I wait for the 10 a.m. for the 10 a.m. candle to open. We also had news, and so as soon as we close below this down close candle, or up close candle, and make the bearish order block, I want to see manipulation to the upside here and kind of tap into this order block, respect it, and then head down. This is what I said today. I kind of realized that I've been trying to fit everything into the first AM macro. I don't have to do that. I can wait until the second AM macro, like 10:05. I feel like we'd probably see a pretty good entry here for shorts. Like we just tapped in this 15 minute. Let me actually see. I mean, I locked myself out, but let me see. Yeah, we're inversing this 5 minute gap on the 1 minute. Yeah, I probably would have entered somewhere over here. Maybe we do have still have a market maker buy model pulling up, but that's besides the point, right? So I tried fitting everything onto the first AM macro, and the 10 a.m. really didn't give me a manipulation as soon as the first AM macro opened. So on the 10 a.m. here, right, as soon as 10 a.m. hits, I want to see us wake up to around this area where that down close candle starts, where that bearish order block begins, right? I want to see us manipulate up here into this area a little bit higher, right? And this is what I meant. I wasn't too patient today. We get some sort of manipulation here on the 10 a.m. and we tap into this 1 minute fair value gap. Once I start seeing rejections off of that, I'm like, okay, maybe we're not going to retrace all the way up here on the 4 hour and just head down to previous day lows. The reason why is that we also inverse this 1 minute gap here right before the 6 a.m. candle closed. And that was just another lower time frame confluence that we would just head lower. That was just a part of my, reasoning, right? And so I just had 5 minute order flow was bearish, 1 minute order flow, like I said, was bearish, inversing gaps. Something that maybe I could have waited on was a clean unicorn model. I didn't really wait for that. As you can see, there's not really clean short a bearish unicorn model here. We didn't really have an SMT. We almost did. If this 5 minute would have been tapped in by this wick, we would have had an SMT, which would have been perfect. I probably would have entered off the inverse if we had an SMT here. We didn't have a clean market maker sell model really. I mean, maybe a little bit, but not too clean, not as clean as we have on the buy side here. But yeah, that was the reason why I took the first trade, which we eventually got tapped out at break even. I saw price was kind of chopping here, so as soon as we took this low, we put in this bullish SMT, put my stops at the break even, took a break even there, which was fine, right? Because we would have lost it either way. So that's the first trade. The second trade, the second trade, holy shit, the second trade was a little bit more emotional, I guess. Although it might have been the better trade in terms of like where market wanted to go to. So the second trade here was, like I said, we put in an SMT here and we immediately rejected after sweeping this low. So that was my sign. I was like, oh shit, okay, maybe we start reversing because we're also on a daily fair value gap. We have a huge volume candle here, and this is when I should have just not taken the trade. Initially, you see this wick here, candles all the way up here, and we had displacement. We had a fair value gap like around here on both ES and NQ. Like ES was also lagging when NQ was kind of dumping here. ES was kind of still up here, kind of just wanted to head higher, and I finally saw that ES and NQ were relatively correlated here when NQ had displaced up here and had a fair value gap. But as you can see, we eventually closed that fair value gap and closed at 10:09 with no displacement at all. Regardless of that, I still entered because I was emotional, and I thought that with this 5 minute candle closing above this down close candle, we'd have an older blackish, and we'd have just resistance to the downside, and we had a change in the state. So I just assumed that we would head higher after tapping into these order blocks and this change in the state of delivery area. Obviously that's not what happened. Like, I know that reasoning just sounded like complete bullshit because this trade was bullshit. Shouldn't have taken this trade, but I mean, it is what it is. Shouldn't have taken the trade, but it is what it is. So yeah, like I said, losing a part of my model, easily could have crashed out. Maybe 2 months ago I would have crashed out. It's fine, completely fine, right? Completely fine. Don't have to take another trade. But yeah, just lost it. There's nothing really much to it. That was just really my reasoning. I had a market maker buy model I thought was gonna play out. I had an SMT, a unicorn model like I invalidated that I still entered off of because I was emotional. We were still in a macro though. So yeah, everything but a unicorn model basically. And yeah, that was the trades I took for today. I already journaled so I can get rid of this bullshit. Don't want to see this. I just try to get rid of all that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like shit whenever I just see it be getting stomped out. But yeah, that was the trades I took for today. We'll come back tomorrow stronger. Actually, tomorrow I have to check if I can even trade because I low-key have jury duty. It's the most random shit ever, but I don't know why I have jury duty. I'm 19, so I guess I have to do like adult stuff kind of now, which kind of sucks. But imagine I trade in the jury, like I'm on my laptop, and they call me in, and I bank like 1,500 before determining whether somebody goes to jail or not. That would be pretty crazy. So we'll see if I can trade tomorrow or not. But yeah, that was today's trade recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something from it today. And I'll see you guys in the next trade recap. Thank you guys. God bless and stick to your rules.